Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one. And welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Greetings, Master Guard.
I figure it's high time I got my hands on a horse. And I can't remember actually how I heard the news, but somebody did tell me that a bunch of horses had been rounded up by Rock Tower Pond after the ambush. You know, the ambush where all of my friends got killed. And one of those horses sounds an awful lot like my horse, Pebbles. And these horses are all being kept here at the stables at Samin.
Wait, that's my Pebbles, my girl. I thought they killed you down by that pond.
That's my Pebbles, all right. Good old girl. Well, she's not actually that good. She is, in fact, quite crap. She is not a very good horse. But she's strong. More importantly, she's mine.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
That grey horse you have grazing here is mine.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
So you're basically just as good as admitted that you bought stolen goods. I'll try to reason with him.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her.
I don't owe you shit. She's my horse.
Serve you well. What are you
I
whistling?
mean, she's only worth 100 groschen. I could have paid for her if the conversation check had failed. Or I could have sneaked in here at night and stolen her. But didn't have to. Got her for free. So, Pebbles. Like I said, she is not a very good horse. But third class riding's better than first class walking any day of the week. And, well, she does have fairly good carrying capacity. I mean, she's not the strongest horse in the game. Pretty much all of her stats are kind of bad. But she does have reasonable strength. And the thing about Pebbles, and it's never going to turn her into the best horse in the game, but once you've ridden her for long enough, she gets a buff to all of her stats. I think you have to ride up I can't remember the specific distance, but it's either 24 or 32 kilometres, something like that. You have to put some time in, just riding her around, so it is a good idea to not use the fast travel feature and instead just ride around everywhere on Pebbles, because eventually her stats will improve. Plus, you're going to get Pebbles very, very early on in the game, at which point you're probably not going to have all of the fast travel points unlocked anyway, and getting to them and unlocking them on Pebbles is certainly a lot more convenient than doing it on foot. Plus, just the simple act of riding Pebbles around improves your horsemanship skill. And while we're on the subject of animals, I still haven't found Mutt, have I? Now, in the last video we did rescue the gamekeeper, Bostatek, the drunken bum, but he wasn't able to give us any information on Mutt. Mostly because at the time he was absolutely shit-faced. But a couple of days later, he's had a chance to sober up, I hope. He might be able to help us. So here he is.
Blessings to you.
Still don't know why he's Scottish.
I'm looking for my dog.
What's that got to do with me? Everyone's looking for something.
You're a huntsman, so I figured you'd have some idea if there's a stray dog roaming around here. It's possible he might have joined a pack of wolves.
Now that you mention that wolf pack, I've got it in for them. And I'm not the only one. They've been wreaking havoc around Samin, chasing after game. It's driving old Lord Samin mad. But you're telling me an ordinary mutt joined up with them?
I'll have to go and verify it. Thanks.
Folks say they're always prowling up in the woods and rocks above the pond in the evenings. If you want to find them, try looking around there before dusk.
It's a bit late in the day for me to make it to Rock Tower Pond before dusk and search for mutt tonight. And along the way, I have a bit of a random encounter. What's going on here?
To welcome me as your brother and friend. Grant me the indulgences of which I dream. Come and speak your name.
Is this guy a Satan worshipper?
What's that?
Who the hell are you?
My name is of no importance. I am your faithful servant.
He thinks he's just summoned Satan, doesn't he?
You know who I am?
You're testing me, Dark Lord. I know I'm not worthy of uttering your name.
Speak. Your master commands it.
You're the Lord of Hell. The Devil. The Dark Tempter.
What do you want from me?
Me? Want something from you, Dark Lord? No, I wouldn't dare. I can only humbly beseech, pitifully implore.
Out with it, then.
For a small kindness, a favour.
What favour?
I'd like the dice to roll like they've never rolled for anyone before, and win every game.
Thy will be done.
Really? Thank you, Dark Lord. I'll be indebted to you to my dying day. And when I die, my soul will be yours, won't it? That is the price?
I'd prefer cash.
Keep your soul. But I won't say no to a few groschen.
Wait a moment. Hell demands payment in souls, not groschen. You're just a mortal. You fucking crook! Swindler! Damn it.
Sadly,
All that preparation,
he wasn't
learning has
quite
been
as
my
stupid
heart.
as he looks.
And all from you.
Ah well, it was worth a shot.
I'll try again another time.
Well, the next day, I'm following the gamekeeper's advice, scouring the cliffs above Rock Tower Pond, not far from the gypsy camp, trying to find Mutt. He's up around here somewhere. Well, I hope. Oh, hang on a minute. There's a camp over there. It's worth investigating. Yeah, there's a camp through the trees. And it seems to be deserted. Somebody's been gutting a deer. Is this a poacher's camp? Still food on the fire. Oh, hello. There's a chest there. Anything here I can help myself to? There's some alchemy ingredients, some blacksmithing ingredients here in the sack. Sack isn't locked, so I can just help myself. Yeah, I may as well. I mean, I'm kind of getting close to my carrying capacity, but I haven't exceeded it yet. What's that? Let's have a look at the chest. Now, it's an easy lock, so it shouldn't be that bad, even though my lock-picking skill isn't great. Alright, we've got a dagger, some horseshoes. Oh, the horseshoes are coming in handy now that I've just got pebbles. Yeah, definitely a poacher's camp. There's all kinds of game meat here. Some blacksmithing materials, some cash. Oh, there's a load of dice there for... Oh, what was that? The hell? Oh, you... What? Oh, crap. He's shooting me. You cheeky... Well, I was stealing his stuff. I kind of deserved it. Oh, wow. Holy crap. He took off like 2/3 of my health with 2 arrows. Oh, he's got a decent hunting bow as well. That's not bad. The rest of his stuff is and it's all covered in blood, of course. The thing about poaching, I mean, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but poaching was a hanging offence. because the game belonged to the king. And so if you were out there hunting deer and you got caught, you'd swing for it. I mean, you know, it's a hanging offence. So poachers tend to, I mean, they've got nothing to lose if they get caught. So they don't tend to surrender easily. Also, I probably don't look like a gamekeeper, and he, well, probably very rightfully assumed that I was just stealing his stuff. So, fair enough. I have one marigold decoction on me, and it's a weak one as well. So this is basically, it's going to heal 10 health, which isn't a lot. Yeah, healing is... Oh, and I'm also overloaded. I might have to transfer some stuff to pebbles. Because I can't even mount a horse when you're overloaded. So I'm definitely going to have to transfer some gear over. So yeah, when it comes to healing in this game, in most games of this type, if you take an injury, you bandage it and it heals it up. Well, it doesn't work that way in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Bandages are there to stop bleeding and keep wounds clean, because that's what bandages are actually for. So if you've suffered any kind of bleeding injury, if you don't want to bleed out, you need to bandage the wound. When it comes to actually healing the wound, there are two ways to do it. The first, and more realistic, is to get some decent quality food down your neck and then rest up. Clean the wounds, eat, and then go to bed. Providing you're properly nourished, and the better the quality of the bed, the faster you're going to heal your wounds up. The other way of healing your wounds is by using alchemy. But even a strong marigold decoction isn't going to heal 100% of your health, although it's absolutely better than nothing. And if finding somewhere to rest up isn't an option because you've just gotten out of combat and there's a good chance that you're about to get straight back into combat again, then alchemy is your best friend. Marigold decoctions are the only potions that will actually heal your wounds. Fortunately, they're very, very simple to make because marigold pretty much grows everywhere. And the better the quality of the potion, the more health it's going to heal back. But no potion is going to heal you back to full health instantly. They all take time to work, and they heal varying degrees of health depending on the quality of the potion. There are actually a third and a fourth way of healing health back. You can go to a bathhouse. If you're injured, you can go to a bathhouse, and among the services that they provide, as well as laundering your clothes and letting you take a bath, they will also heal your wounds. And the fourth and final way of recovering your health, and honestly this is just amazing, is by drinking, by getting pissed. Yes, really, because drinking in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is an actual skill. And as with every other skill in this game, and in reality, you improve it by doing it. Although right now, since I've cleared this camp out, I'm going to take advantage of the bedroll and the lean-to. And you can see, in order to get my health back up to approaching 100%, I'm going to have to crash out here for a couple of hours, and that'll do. But yes, drinking. If you improve your drinking skill to a sufficiently high level, a perk, a drinking perk from the drinking skill becomes available. And with that perk active, what happens is every time you drink beer, you heal 5 points of health. Yes, really. And it has another side effect of making spirits, stuff like schnapps, for example, cure poison. So that's an actual thing that happens in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'm not sure how they rationalise it. Maybe it's just that it doesn't really heal you. You're just too drunk to actually notice that you're getting stabbed. I don't know. But those are the various different ways that you can heal your wounds in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Right, I'm now in the search area for Mutt and the wolf pack, and I really don't want to be on horseback if I get jumped by a pack of wolves. I mean, if I had a better horse, maybe, but Pebbles, bless her, she's a bit of a coward. She gets attacked, she's likely to rear up and throw me off, and then I'm on my back, surrounded by a pack of wolves, which isn't great. Hello, hello, hello.
A ravaged deer. It looks as if they were dragging it somewhere and it's snagged on something here.
Well, I'm definitely in the right area. I mean, I know I'm in the right area because the game's telling me I'm in the search zone, but you know what I mean. There's another deer carcass.
They were trying to drag this poor thing away somewhere. They can't be far from here.
I am reasonably well armed and actually fairly well armoured. However, if I need to make a quick escape, I'd like to have Pebbles close by. I'm trying to whistle Pebbles over, but I don't know if I'm too far away. Pebbles? Where's she gone? Pebbles? She should be just up there. Oh. How did... Doesn't matter. So, I want to have Pebbles positioned in case I need to make a quick escape. Because I'm pretty well armoured. The wolves aren't going to do that much damage to me unless I get overwhelmed. Which, given that wolves in this game do fight using pack tactics, is kind of likely, depending on how many of them there are. That looks like their den up there. Henry, take the hint and draw your fucking sword. Henry, you know you're looking for a pack of wolves, right? Draw your sword. What is wrong with him? Oh, wait, no. That's Mutt.
What?
Yeah, that's him.
Mutt, come here. Good boy, good boy.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I mean, what was I expecting? Henry, sword. Put the sharp metal object in your hand, Henry. Oh, that one doesn't look very pleased. Oh, Henry, draw your sword for the love of... You see, this is what I was worried about. My legs, arms and neck are armoured. So there's a limit to the amount of damage that a wolf can actually do to me, but if they manage to pull me down and then mob me, I can still be in serious trouble. I am not, however, completely alone against this pack of wolves. I've got man's best friend at my side.
Get it.
Good boy, Mutt. Yep, Mutt will fight for you. There's a whole bunch of things that you can actually get Mutt to do, and what he can and will do and how long he'll do it for depends on, you guessed it, your hound's mastery skill. Which obviously isn't going to be great right now, but the more you use Mutt, the more you adventure with him and get him to do stuff, the higher the skill, the stronger Mutt becomes, and the longer he can stay in the fight. Top tip, something that I didn't really know at the time, because up until this point I haven't had a huge amount of experience fighting wolves and wild dogs, but they do tend to be a lot faster than you are. So chasing around after them, flailing wildly at them with your sword is probably not going to be very effective. However, if you let them attack, then block and counter-attack, that is way more effective. And once you've increased your strength and your various different weapon skills, you'll find that you tend to start one-shotting things like wolves and wild dogs. Just wait for them to learn, block, parry, counter-attack, easy. As you can see, I'm making a bit of a meal of this, but we've done it. And in the process, I've improved Houndmaster, Survival, Swords, all kinds of good stuff. And who's a good boy?
You little flea-ridden furball. Where have you been? What's that? Those wolves have turned you wild. I'm glad nothing happened to you. I was worried about you. Seriously, there wasn't a moment I didn't think about you. Oh, come here, you cute little monster. So, tell me, did you like it over there? Did you meet a pretty she-wolf over there? Oh, I'm just playing around. But did you miss me at least? What? You didn't? Did you forget about me? Ah, so you're just kidding me, eh? Do you want to go back there? Or are you going to stay with me? I'm glad to hear that. So, we'll get down to work then, eh? There are a lot of things we must do. I think that's enough. It's great to see each other again, but it's time to go. I agree. Said like a true knight.
Yes, Mutt, who's a good boy. Do you think when dogs die and go to heaven, the first thing they want to know is, so who is the good boy then? Oh, you can butcher the wolves. I mean, I get an awful lot out of it. You get some meat, but it's not particularly nourishing. But you can actually take the wolves' fangs for use in alchemy, and the wolves' ears can be traded into gamekeepers for a bounty. But before we leave, we're going to check the cave, the actual wolves' den, because there's some good stuff at the back here. That's a mended cuirass. That's plate armor chest. It's not great, but it's way better than what we have at the moment. And if Mutt will get out of the way, there's a reasonably good quality broadsword here too. It's worth a couple of 100 groschen. And then the pile of rocks at the back with a human skull. I mean, the jewellery here, as well as being worth a good couple of 100 groschen, also improves our charisma stat. And charisma is the primary characteristic that determines success or failure in most conversation checks. Not all, but most. The other thing that determines success or failure in charisma-based conversation checks is what you'll look like. If you're wandering around in filthy rags, people are going to, well, assume you're a beggar and treat you as such. You can actually also end up getting a fairly high charisma score wearing really, really good quality, expensive-looking armour. The problem is it's kind of expensive. And you also need a perk. I think it's called the Cavalier perk that increases your charisma depending on how heavily armoured you are. By far the simplest way of increasing your charisma is to just wear really expensive clothes. But again, really expensive clothes, like really expensive armour, is really expensive. But like everything else in life, it's only expensive if you acquire it via legitimate means. And with 458 groschen to my name, I have absolutely, well, no way of doing that. I also have no intention of doing that. I have my thieving set, provided to me by Miller Kreisel down in Lower Samine. And there's an extraordinarily well-equipped tailor here in the village of Troskowitz. All I have to do is wait until after midnight, when the only people out on the streets are going to be the town guard, and break into his shop and help myself. There is a slight problem though. Mutt helping himself to water from the trough there. Yeah, the problem is I'm quite new at this thievery gig and my lockpicking skill is kind of shit. There's the tailor's shop. It's all kinds of expensive stuff, all protected by an extremely expensive lock. I don't have the skill to get that lock open. But I don't need to pick the lock to the shop. Across the street from the shop is the tailor's house. And his house isn't nearly as well protected. The locks here are easy, or at the most medium, and I can do these. Right, let's have a look around. This appears to be like the storeroom or pantry. So I'm not going to find the tailor in here. I mean, there's a ladder going upstairs, but that's probably where the servants sleep. Yeah. There's a chest back there. Again, an easy lock. The locks in this game go from very easy, easy, medium, hard, very hard. 5 different grades of lock. Depending on your lock picking skill, you might not even be able to attempt a hard or a very hard lock. There's some stuff in here, and it's of reasonable value, but my carrying capacity is at 137 of 238. Now that will improve by improving my strength stat. Although that's obviously not happening in the next few hours. It does look like this is where the servants are sleeping. Straw mattresses in the loft. So we've got I think one of the hired hands. Yeah. I'm going to try to pick his pockets without waking him up. So this is tricky. Now, the more red this thing gets, the more likely he is to wake up and catch me in the act. And now I need to actually check what's going on in his pockets and then get back out again through the gate at the top before he wakes up. So there's the keys. I've got his keys. Now we just need to get out of here. And we've done it. So, I've got the hired hand's keys. That's unlikely to open up the tailor shop over the road. But I should be able to use the keys that I've just lifted from the hired hand, and there's another set of keys here, to open any locked doors or chests in the tailor's house. Alright. So we've done that without waking anyone up. Where's the tailor himself, though? Well, there was another door. Oh, yeah, also, when you're thieving from people's houses in towns and villages, don't do what I just did and leave the door open. Shut it behind you, because the town patrol, the guard, they do patrol the streets at night. And if they walk past and they see a door open that should be closed, they will investigate. And there's an excellent chance you're going to get caught. Okay. I could have just dropped down from the planks above, but that might have woken somebody up. Now, because I've got the key, I can just unlock and open this door without having to pick the lock. It's probably a better idea to just try and pick the lock, though, because it improves your lock-picking skill. And then if your lock-picking fails, I'll take the tailor's kit, that's for repairing clothing. If the lock-picking fails, well, then you've got the key and you can just open it anyway. Anything here I can help myself to? Nothing obvious. I'm looking for the tailor himself because I need his shop keys. What do we have here? Bag of nails, cobweb for alchemy. Well, there's only one other place to look. Aside from in this bag, which is empty. And that's in here. Again, it's a very easy lockpick, so I may as well just improve my lockpicking skill. And if it fails, and it shouldn't fail because it's very easy, I have the key that I pickpocketed from the hired hand upstairs. And this is looking good. That's the tailor's mother. Probably not going to find the shop keys on her. Could help myself to some food. Nah. That's the tailor and his wife in the bed. Anything else here? Just some food. There's a chest at the foot of the bed as well. And I'll bet the tailor's keys open that. So here he is. I'm going to have to pickpocket the tailor. Alright. Maybe I should save the game. Just in case. Because my pickpocketing skill isn't fantastic. So I'm going to drink some saviour schnapps. The weak saviour schnapps just saves the game. Higher quality versions of saviour schnapps save the game and give you buffs, but at the moment I just want to save the game. So I have 18 seconds. It's as far as I was willing to go. I'm looking for his keys, and those aren't his keys. Those are his keys. I'm going to take those. Yep. What's that? It's another set of keys, and then get out. Okay. Pick 2 sets of keys from the tailor. One of them is guaranteed to open this chest, and it's a hard chest, which I'm never going to pick, so I'll just use the key. And there's some reasonably valuable and high quality stuff here. I mean, most of it's going to be in the shop over the road. But I'll help myself to the more valuable and lightweight stuff here. I mean, dry herbs, for example, they weigh basically nothing. And 24 groschen. Yep, that'll do. All the good stuff's in the shop over the road, and now I've got the keys. See, I didn't need to pick the lock. I mean, I could have picked the lock if my skill had been high enough, but it wasn't. But But you don't need to pick the lock. You just need the keys. And it's a lot easier to steal the keys than it is to pick the lock. A word of caution, however, about all of this thievery. It's very important. I mean, it's obviously very important that nobody catches you in the act, but if you are embarked on an evening of larceny, it is very important that the guards don't see you wandering around at night, especially without a torch. Generally speaking, the guards take a very, very dim view of people wandering around settlements at night without some kind of light. They'll order you to light a torch or something. They'll give you one chance to comply, and if you refuse, they will arrest you. So don't let the guards catch you wandering around without a light. At the same time, however, it's also not a good idea to have the guards, or anybody for that matter, see you wandering around even with a light at night, on the night when somebody steals a whole bunch of things from the various different merchants. Because let's just say the burden of evidence in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not particularly high. If somebody saw you, a stranger, wandering around at night on the night when, for example, somebody stole everything from the tailor's shop that wasn't nailed down, they're going to just assume you did it. Even without a shred of actual physical evidence, just the fact that you were there, nobody knew who you were, and a whole bunch of stuff got stolen is enough for the guards to be very interested in having you assist them in their inquiries. You will be searched, you will be arrested, and if they find any stolen goods on you, you will be in the shit. So, when thieving, rule number 1, obviously, do not get caught in the act. Rule number 2, if at all possible, don't even be seen in the vicinity on the same night that a whole bunch of stuff got stolen. And rule number 3, get rid of your stolen goods, do not carry them around with you, wait for the heat to die down. Do not be dumb enough to turn up at the shop where you stole a whole bunch of things from the very next day and try to sell them all back to the merchant, because they're going to recognise their own stuff and you will be in the shit. Always either wait a couple of days, and when you open your inventory you'll see a red hand icon over all of the stuff that's considered stolen. You need to wait for the heat to die down until that red hand icon disappears, at which point the gear is no longer considered stolen and you can safely equip it and or sell it. Or, while it is still considered stolen, find a fence to sell it to. Obviously at a reduced price because, you know, there's a risk involved for the fence. But there is a fence at the gypsy camp, the nomad camp, overlooking Rock Tower Pond, and he will buy stolen goods from you. But the biggest problem that you're going to find when it comes to moving stolen goods isn't waiting for the heat to die off and the gear to no longer be considered stolen. It's just that people don't have that much money to buy a whole bunch of stolen goods. You're probably going to have to shop around various different places in order to move all of the stuff that you've stolen, because the various different merchants just don't have enough cash on hand to buy it all from you. Now, I was talking earlier about my carrying capacity, which is based on your strength. Right now, I am completely overloaded because my strength isn't that high. In fact, I'm probably carrying more than double of what I am actually able to carry without being considered over-encumbered. Now, this is a bad thing because, well, look at how slowly I'm moving. Encumbrance in this game isn't a sort of on-off thing. It's not a binary state. I mean, it kind of is. You either are encumbered or you're not, but the amount by which you're encumbered kind of works on a sliding scale. If you're lightly encumbered, well, if you're encumbered at all, there's a bunch of things that you can't do. You can't sprint, your stamina recovers very, very slowly, and you can't mount a horse. You also can't fast travel anywhere, and the amount by which you're encumbered determines how quickly you can move. I'm not actually crouched and creeping along here. This is me moving as fast as I possibly can while being horribly over-encumbered. But being encumbered like this and then trying to travel around while encumbered like this is the single fastest way of improving both your strength and your vitality in the whole game. Your vitality determines things like your strength. No, it doesn't. Your strength determines your strength. Your vitality determines things like your stamina and your stamina regen. And your strength determines not just your carrying capacity, but also how much damage you do with weapons. And in some cases, whether or not you're going to do any damage at all with weapons. You can pick up and use any weapon in the game, but a lot of these weapons have a minimum required strength and or agility. And if you don't actually meet those strength or agility requirements, you can still use the weapon, but you won't be doing the full listed damage that the weapon is capable of until you meet those strength and agility requirements. So, having just liberated the poor Troskovich tailor of basically everything that he owns, I am horribly over-encumbered here, and I'm moving at a crawl, and it's going to take me forever to get anywhere. I do have a stash at the blacksmith shop. I've got a nice bed there, and I've got a stash, and my aim is to get there and dump all of my stolen gear, but moving this slowly, it's going to take me forever, and I can't fast travel, I can't sprint, and I can't mount a horse. If I get attacked, if I run into a pack of wolves or any bandits along the way, I am basically a dead man, because I can't run away. And overburdened like this, the second I swing a sword, which I'm not particularly good at, and of course I'm not wearing any armour either, so any hit I take is going to do a lot more damage than it would be if I was armoured, and I'm just not going to recover stamina every time I take a swing. Basically I'm dead if I get attacked while I'm in this state. But if I can make it to the blacksmiths, where I've got my bed and my stash and dump all of this stuff, by the time I get there, travelling as horribly overburdened as this, I'm going to have earned massive boosts to both my strength and my vitality. And so a couple of days later, once the heat's died down a bit and I can safely return to Troskovitz without being questioned by the guards, just on suspicion, and of course wearing the finest of fine clothing, which has massively boosted my charisma, I can actually return to the tailor's shop, this time while he's open. I literally stole the shirts off his back.
I need something repaired.
You notice I now have nearly 1,200 groschen. I didn't just steal all of his clothes, I stole all of his cash as well. I'm just going to get him to fix up the stuff that I had damaged while I was stealing from him. And now, of course, because I'm wearing all this amazing stolen clothing, my charisma is so high I can haggle him right down to only paying him 18 groschen to repair the stuff that I was wearing while I was robbing him. And let's have a look at. Let's open up the trade window.
Show me your wares.
I didn't steal absolutely everything that he had, so he does still have some stock to sell. Not that I'm interested, but I'm not going to be selling any of my stuff to him because the only money this poor bugger has is the 18 groschen that I just paid him to repair my thieving gear. I cleaned him out for every last penny that he has, which is a bit of a problem because there are not that many merchants who will actually buy clothing. I mean, a general goods trader will, and obviously a tailor will, but a butcher isn't going to buy a peacock feathered hat. A blacksmith isn't going to buy a pair of pants. I mean, you know, they don't trade in that sort of thing. And unfortunately, I've ripped this guy off of every penny that he owns. So in order to actually shift some of these stolen goods back to him, now that they're no longer considered stolen, I'm going to have to buy something from him so that he's got some money to give back to me in exchange for some of the stuff that I stole from him, if you see what I mean. So I've bought a couple of tailor's kits, which means I won't have to come back to the tailor to get him to repair any of my damaged clothing. I can just fix it myself. And then, now that he has some money from selling me some tailoring kits, I can just get that money back by selling him all the stuff that I sold from him. Or at least some of it. So, all in all, a couple of extremely productive days. I've massively increased my strength and vitality, although there's still a fair way to go. I've got Mutt back. I'm no longer walking everywhere. I've recovered Pebbles, my horse. I have more than 1,000 groschen lining my pockets. And I'm no longer wandering around looking and smelling like a beggar, which means that People that meet me on the street when I engage them in conversation tend to err on the side of caution and treat me with a little bit of respect, just in case I turn out to be some kind of rich merchant or nobleman. So after a fairly rocky start, I'd say we're finally in a good place. Things are starting to look up. I should probably maybe start to get around to following up the main story quest. I mean, let's face it, that's what we're here for after all. Although at the same time, there's no shortage of other stuff to do. This game is chock full of great side quests. So whatever we decide to do, we're finally in a good place to start doing it. So main quest, side quest, whatever, all coming up in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.